Today we begin a new theme in our Connecting with Christ series, focusing on God's provision. Welcome back. Hey everyone, welcome back to Connecting with Christ. We are in week 23 and we're actually starting a new theme, the theme of provision. In the devotional, provision was described as a measure taken beforehand to deal with a need or contingency. Today's devotional is called A Raven's Trust, and it was written by Benjamin J. Hall. Fun fact, I am actually sitting in Benjamin's basement right now. Well, sorry, that doesn't sound right. It makes it seem like I'm maybe locked in the basement. I don't know. So, full context, I am here visiting Benjamin and Dana. So, Dana, who has been on with us several times, she's my friend. And so we had planned this weekend as just a girls' fun weekend. We did a 5K, we walked, we ate, did a whole bunch of stuff, had a great time. And although now would be nice to have him on, it is actually Sunday morning. I am getting ready to return to the airport, and they are getting ready for service. And so, if I would have thought of the idea earlier, maybe I would have asked, but yesterday was a full day. Anyhow, A Raven's Trust by Benjamin J. Hall. And the scripture he used is Luke 12:24, which says, "Consider the ravens. They do not sow or reap. They have no storeroom or barn, yet God feeds them. And how much more valuable you are than the birds." Luke 12:24. One of the things Ben talks about is how living an abundant life has very little to do with accumulation of treasure and has everything to do with trust. He shares an experience about early in his marriage when he was a young husband and father, and how he worried about being a sufficient provider for his family. And that worry led him to pursue ventures that often took him away from his family. He had to learn what he was doing was not fulfilling the call that God had for his life. A wise person helped him realize that he needed to be a daily presence for his wife and children and to trust God's provision for them through legitimate means that did not require him to abandon spending time with his wife and children for the sake of worldly wealth. In the devotional, Benjamin asks a couple of questions. He's asking, do you, the reader, or in this case, the listener, do you trust God's ability to provide for all you need according to his riches in glory? Do you believe that God is able to do much more than you can ask or imagine? And do you believe that if you first seek God's kingdom and his righteousness, that he will take care of the rest? These questions are all based on scriptural promises of God, and it's not to discount that there are very real needs in life. We need to pay to have roofs over our heads. We need to pay to have utilities. We need food, transportation. All of those are very important. We also live in a society where it's almost as if the more stuff you have, the more people equate that to abundant blessings. And the heart of what Benjamin is saying is that there's nothing wrong with having nice things, but we need to understand that God is more. His provision for us is more than what we accumulate in this lifetime and having a lot of stuff. There are some things that are irreplaceable. And so trusting God means if we are being good stewards of everything that he has given us, trusting that he will take care of our needs. He always will take care of us. Doesn't mean that we're not going to have struggles during our journey, because we will. That's life. But we need to do our part by being good stewards of whatever it is he has given us, whomever it is that he has placed in our lives to steward over, such as parents stewarding their household, um, a boss or CEO being a good steward over the people they lead, being honorable with the resources and time management, etc. All of those things are important. But at the end of the day, any and everything we have is because of God, and it's not us ourselves. Life comes with seasons. And in sometimes we might have those seasons of feast, sometimes we might have those seasons of famine. But life comes with seasons. What I would like each of you to do is not to focus on your lack, but to focus on the things that God has provided for you during times when it seems like you wouldn't have made it through. We all have those stories. Absolutely all have those stories of, I didn't think this would work out. Somehow it did. Somehow. We don't know how that somehow worked a lot of times, but that's when the divine meets our humanity and figures it out for us. And this trust is not to say, because that whole faith without works is dead, right? So someone can make that argument. So this is not to say that you make bad choices, you don't do what you're supposed to do, and then God's gonna figure it out. There are consequences when we don't do the things that we're supposed to do. I mean, just point blank. But there is something so peaceful about being able to trust in God to provide every single thing that you need. So there's two things that I want to end with. One is I want you to just recall those times where the Lord has come through. Record those times, jot them down, and I want you to put them in your memory bank, because Life will have you tripping again in some form or fashion. And there will be times you will question again in some manner. But having that documented record is a reminder of how good God is, how much He has provided for you. And it reminds us not only of His ability to do so again, but of the evidence that He has done so. And then, so that's the first thing. Second thing is, I know we all have unmet needs, right? Pray about them and continue to pray about them. Sometimes God does not change the circumstances. Sometimes He changes our perspective about those circumstances. And sometimes there are things that we think we need that are really wants that we don't need, that we end up surviving just fine without them. So I am going to go upstairs and come out the basement now because I hear Dana up there and want to get just a little bit of time in before we leave. If there's any point for you to take away from this, is that God is absolutely a provider. He provides for everyone, even people who don't acknowledge Him, He provides for. But if you are His, you are especially provided for. So I hope you take something away from this. I've been dealing with allergies, so I feel like my voice is sounding a little different. Oh, my hair's different. So I picked out my locks. That was a 3-week process, so a lot of pre-recorded videos. And I am on my way home. I had allergies, like it's just getting me off and on. Dana and I both, it's like we were trading. Sometimes it'll hit me, sometimes it'll hit her. But I had a beautiful visit. I'm looking forward to getting home to my family. Meanwhile, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. If this video resonates with you, if you know someone who might benefit from hearing this message as it connects to the devotional Connecting with Christ, please feel free to share. And when I get back to Columbus, Ohio, I do have a special video that I will put together to share an important announcement. But until then, thank you for watching. May God bless you as you bless others. And until we meet again, may you continue to connect with Christ. Thank you for watching. To learn more or to purchase a copy of Connecting with Christ, 52 weekly devotionals to nurture spiritual growth, please click one of the links in the description or visit yoproductions.net. Also note that the views expressed by any interviewed contributor may or may not reflect those of the host or Yo Productions. If this video or any content on this channel has encouraged you, I invite you to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. Also, please consider liking this video and sharing it with someone you believe may be blessed by its content. Until we meet again, continue to stay connected with Christ.